Well, Boston Mayor Marty Walsh joins us now via Zoom to discuss the city's response to the pandemic. Mayor, good to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Liam. Thanks for having me today.
Governor Charlie Baker said yesterday that the state is, quote, past the surge, that the surge is behind us in Massachusetts. Is that true for the city of Boston as well?
I'd say at least the first phase of the surge is. It seems like our numbers are going down every day. Now, the tricky part is how do we reopen and not have a second surge and try and keep those numbers down. That's going to be seen. We probably have 2 or 3 weeks before we start to see if those numbers start to creep back up again.
Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, I'm sure you're aware, says that Massachusetts is opening too fast. You've heard from other people in the city that we're opening too slowly. Do you think to this point that we've gotten it just right?
I think there's a balance. I don't know if there's any right or wrong answer in this point right now. I definitely don't think we open too fast. I don't think we should. I think it's a mistake. We've taken a slow process with construction and making sure the safety protocol in place. We're doing the same with offices. Next week, offices can open at a certain percentage. We haven't finalized the number yet, but right now the governor's advisory is up to 25%. I don't think you'll see that type of population coming into the city right away. So I think we have to continue to be very methodical in how we open things.
You mentioned that the city of Boston is not going to allow office spaces to open until after the state has, and probably not at the same capacity. What do you say to business owners who I'm sure are calling you and saying, we're not going to survive if this continues? In other words, our business is not going to survive. What do you say to them?
I mean, it's something that we have to continue to work together with government and industry, not only with businesses, but with workers to make sure workers are protected as well. This is a global pandemic. This is not caused by any decision that I've made or the governor's made here in Massachusetts. It's really a worldwide pandemic. And quite honestly, it can't be public health versus the economy. It's got to be the same. So as we open up the economy, we have to take into account public health. So I think that, a steady approach is important. If we go too fast, what will happen is we'll have a second surge that could be worse than the first one, and we're shutting everything down again. I think that's really detrimental to our economy and to businesses.
And speaking of small businesses, you just announced yesterday $6 million in grants for small businesses to help them reopen safely. What is the financial picture of the city right now? Tax revenues must be down dramatically. How long can the city afford to continue to prop businesses up instead of allowing them to open?
Well, we're in the midst of our budget process, and we've already reduced the budget once, twice since we started, and we're looking at receipts and see what's going on. Some of it's predicated on what happens at the state level and state aid, and the state's looking anywhere from a 15 to 25% loss in revenue. That's going to have very deep cuts in programs that are going to be in jeopardy here. So I still think it's a little too early to get the final numbers. I mean, again, there's also the CARES Act 2, if you will, going through the United States Senate. If that money goes through there and see what parameters around that money, hopefully some of that money can be used to help cities and towns balance their budget moving forward. I mean, everyone is in financial kind of shaky ground right now.
We have seen an uptick in violence recently in the city, despite the fact that people have been generally staying at home. Last week, there were 4 homicides over the span of 6 days. You and the police commissioner have said that this could be a result of releasing some prisoners over coronavirus concerns. Have any of those violent crimes that we've seen been committed by a person who was released as a result of the coronavirus?
No, that's a question you have to ask the commissioner. I know we're looking at that. Certainly some of the violent crime that we've seen in the city of Boston has been repeat offenders of people that had gone away and served some time for it. It's hard to say that. I don't have the answer to that question right now here for the TV.
What do we do about the violence?
The violence is, we're working right now. The difficulty is that we're operating with almost like one hand tied behind our back. Some of the programming that we'd have out in the street, the interventions would be able to get out there and do more of it. We're working on our Office of Public Safety is working with the police department, with clergy, with community leaders right now on ways to try and reduce the violence. A lot of the violence is going on in our city. They're not kids, they're adults. So people often categorize it as young people creating violence. It's not the case. In some cases that's older adults. And a lot of the programming and the job opportunities that we would have right now aren't existent.
Do you think that schools open back up in the fall? Where do you stand on that at this point?
I hope they do. I had a conversation today with DESE, Jeff Riley, the Commissioner of Education. We talked a little bit about what it would look like. I think that, again, it all goes back to what the numbers look like and where we are in the coronavirus in battling it.
Boston Mayor Marty Walsh, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it, and stay safe.
Thanks, Lam.